expect him to bring some serious fire, but it ain't going to be easy. It'll either be Jack Robinson or Yago Dora. And our fourth quarter, what an unbelievable matchup, these two. For a long time, they were stablemates.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the battle.
Stacey, have you been surprised to see how many of his big results have come in more performance-type waves?
Oh, absolutely.
Shaman.
The smaller the waves get, the better Jack does, which absolutely blows my mind.
He'll be looking to do exactly that here. As Robinson gets into it, opening up with his run, going first. His setup worked for some tube time. Robbo behind the curtain. Doesn't hang too long. Really nice silky float. And then a great arcing wrap. And then he'll sting out the tail, liberate the fins. Really good control from him. A nice casual calm air. This looks ominous. Big ramp for him. Loads of speed. Massive alley-oop. Skids it down off the roof. And a whip to finish. Tries to just throw the fins at the very ends of that wave. Jack Robinson very much going through the gears on the front foot, on the attack. And that was a great wave.
Super casual, right? He doesn't look too frantic. He never really does look frantic, let's be honest, right? I mean, we call him, you know, the master, the wizard, and all the shaman, but he's just looking relaxed. It's just a completed ride. He's going to take a lot of confidence from that.
I reckon he looks frantic when the waves are pumping. And he knows that he should be winning. And then he looks relaxed when it's kind of his back's against the wall and he might be considered the underdog. And we saw that here. I'm also going to go out on a limb and say I reckon he's narrowed his stance.
Let's have a little look at that. Definitely pivoting, super critical off the bottom of the wave here. Just really looking cool, calm and collected. I mean, just even the setup for this air, it's just so carefree. It's pretty crazy, right?
Oh yeah, he's doing it. He's going through the motions so well, but what he's doing is difficult. He's just making it look so easy.
What do we think the lower age limit is on being the shaman? Can you be like shaman when you're 15? I mean, do you have to get into your 20? When does shamanship actually officially start?
I mean, Flick can probably speak to this, but from an outsider looking in, I reckon I saw Jack do shaman stuff at the age of 13.
Oh, completely. I mean, I grew up surfing with Jack in Western Australia, and he's always just had a special connection with the ocean and just a read on waves and that instinct. And you can't touch in the back of his head there. Has a little look. He's all right. But
he's not doing the Jean Deroux claim. With the wind, probably the case, but I think Jack's going to have to go harder on his next ride, for sure.
Yeah, a few things slightly counterintuitive. You would think the wind would actually favour on the right where it's blowing more in that onshore direction rather than the offshore into the left, but it has been real successful for those airs. Successful in terms of getting in the tube and getting deep, something that's been a hallmark of Robbo's career, and he'll do that here on this left. Different kind of desert left than what he'll surf around home. They're looking very much comfortable with his surrounds. Just throwing out the fins and reversing, then tapping for speed. He's going to have to come from back. He'll streak through the early part of the section. Won't find an exit there. So just putting himself a little bit back, and he'll leave, well, quite a bit in terms of points out there. Jack Robinson unable to really do major damage in terms of getting that completion on his first left. So his run...
Yeah, absolutely. He's so well-rounded in all different types of waves. And then also, you know, his weaknesses he's gotten stronger at. Obviously, he's got great support from Volcom in Hawaii. He spends a lot of time there out the front of pipe. And then his backhand's gotten way better, and hopefully we see that right here.
Felt like a moment a couple of years ago at J-Bay, some of the backhand maneuvers he was doing. They really just upped the ante with now no real chinks in his armour at all. Here he'll go, slicing in, cutting some water. Doesn't quite get the lip line float there.
Oh.
Just snatched at it a touch. And how many times have we seen someone get slightly off rhythm, not by much, and then completely unravel?
Yeah, interesting, right? You can sort of see a little bit of texture on the face of the right at the moment. It is looking a little bit tricky. Just got stuck in that bowly section at the bottom. But sort of evening the playing field a little bit. Let's see what happened. Just dynamic backhand here, couple of cracks. Almost actually baubles there, just ever so slightly. I think it was that turn before that put him out of rhythm. And because The one prior to that, I think, was the moment. It was only ever so slightly, but he actually got just off beat. So let's have a look. You can see it just there. The nose ever so slightly digs, and he loses like half a second. Therefore, he gets up here a little bit late, and that wave just standing up and him losing his balance.
That's something that I think is going to be challenged right here because his back's against the wall. And you mentioned he probably wants to match Jack's 7-7. I think it needs to be like an 8-3-3 or higher to really put the pressure back on Robbo.
On the forehand, Dora looking to try and match some of his historic numbers that he's been able to post with a string of 9-point rides. You can already see a big spring in his step from the opening turns. And then the cover from him. Inside that barrel section, out he comes, hanging one in the lip, gets a mid-face pump, so not going straight back up for a maneuver. And then just swings out that tail, gets his nose going completely the wrong way. Check the speed here. From a low line, he'll go into a big old alley-oop. Absolutely stomps it, raking the rail line.
Wow.
And then he'll throw the tail, he'll revert back. That is exactly the way he needed to respond to what he did on the right. We're game on here.
Oh, wow. I mean, this is going to be a giant score, right? It was pretty impressive. You could see as soon as he stood up that he looked like he had a bit more power, a bit more acceleration, and a bit more grit to him.
Sick. Frothing. That's exactly what this heat needed. I kind of made it out like he wasn't going to get 3 turns for the pit, and he absolutely belted 3 huge turns before the barrel. But it's just this variety through the middle section. His tail's all over the place. He's sliding around, but he's not losing that forward momentum that some of the other surfers sometimes struggle with if they're, gee, that's a dangerous turn right there, they'll say that. But it didn't matter. He just wiped it off, and this turn here, incredible. And then I thought, oh, no, he's butchered. He's going to be too far behind. No chance. What did you like about it, Flick?
I just loved... Wow. He really got the tail high there. You could really see, I feel like you could see he was trying to emphasize that. It was almost like he was in control more so than what other surfers have been in the air, and just that body awareness and the placement of the board, it kind of looked like to me that he was really trying to make an effort to make sure that tail went really high.
Yeah, he sort of drifted a bit first before, almost like delaying the rotation, or certainly made it look like that.
It felt like it was intentional, right? Like sometimes you get it into the air and it's kind of like, okay, whatever way I'm going here. Whereas to me, it looked like he had a bit more control as he punched through the lip here, just to really send that just magic. Seriously good stuff.
He's nearly over-rotated, but that just added to the drama. And then I love, and this is just to speak to Yago's full game, is that he's able to do this manoeuvre and not lose the wave, whereas you'll see Italo finish the wave with the same turn, but it's just, for whatever reason, hasn't been able to come out and do this as consistently as Yago, and it's just... He's got loose hips. He can do whatever he wants, and a big claim, and as he should be, a huge score there.
Taking control of the yellow jersey for the time being. He'll stick with it unless Ethan Yoon wins the event and Italo loses in the semi. Meanwhile, our attentions, they're on Jack Robinson. 7-7 is what he wants to improve on. You can see how different that right is with the wind behind it and a lot more crumble, but nevertheless, he does an outrageous tail stall into the Baz. And then out, nothing rushed here. And able just to cruise on that rail. Bit of spice, nice redirect. Wow. And again, just stinging into that crumble. And making a different look on each of those turns with the setup. Massive alley-oop of his own.
Stop it.
And he'll land with a layback and he'll hang on to it. 7-7 was his previous number. That's what he needs to improve on in terms of adding to his overall total hit. Decent number locked in. Can he go up towards excellent? He will then, of course, have a left as well. But right now, this one's so evenly matched.
Can we direct from the chair? Mashman, get us a replay of the right and the left side by side. Let's see which oop was better. That's for stitching me up in Fiji, bruv.
Well, we're going to have to obviously talk about landings as well, right? Because that's a part of it, and how, these airs are being scored and exactly how clean the landing is. Generally speaking, the orthodoxy would be if you're laying back, not as clean, maybe getting a little penalised. Let's have another look here.
Yeah, so you know what? You can see the aggression in Jack straight away. I mean, there's pop here. That kick, he literally landed straight from that turn, kick-stalled it into the barrel. I mean, that's just that different sort of read on this wave. It's making it feel, it's giving that ocean-like feel of just reacting and instinct, right? Tail slide there, that redirect, the nose all the way back to the foam, pops it out over this section. So casual, but then can give so much aggression. And then into this alley-oop. He got the tail high there. Obviously, he wanted a cleaner finish, but the acrobats to actually stick that and hang on, it's pretty epic. What do you see here in this, Stace?
I think the bulk of the points in this ride are going to come from that middle combo in the middle, the carve to the snap. This is obviously an incredible air, and he's done so well to pull it off. I just think the judges are going to be really harsh with the landing, and as they should be. An amazing finish to the wave, though, and he did well to bring it down. And that's a good feeling, you know, when you think you've blown it, but then you haven't. You know, it's such a cool moment.
Yeah. It, you know?
Over Western Australia's Jack Robinson. And here we go. As he'll fade the entry on his left. Jack setting up here. A little sting on his second turn. A little bit more hang time. Tube time. Robinson grabbing the wall. Putting himself as deep as pos. All right, this middle part, what's his approach going to be like here? He'll mix things. Just recovering and accelerating with the bottom turn. Stalling for a tube, everything leaning forwards. Emerges low line, little adjust of the feet. He'll ditch the fins out. Crucially, a completion. In terms of the moment, the highlight of that wave,
highlight of the wave was that he didn't go for the spin in the middle because the judges just haven't been rewarding it. It's not worth the risk of what the points are getting back in return. He did it on the prior wave and only got a 4.5.
The door not wide open here, but very much ajar. And that's the number looking. Yago Dora, his requirement at the moment, pretty modest, 5.16. Robinson getting a high five, it was 5.93. And that requirement, well, you back him to get it. Yago Dora, here he'll go. On the backhand here, being pretty patient with the setup work. You can see him just climbing the wave and getting into flow and rhythm. Nothing crazy in terms of aggression until that last turn. He just ups the ante a bit. Once again, a little bit more oomph in that. Just a touch repetitive with the three maneuvers through the mid part. And then he'll lean towards the wall. I'm not sure he'd disappear behind it. He'll try and throw up and get the varial done, but doesn't. Looked a little out of sorts there.
I'm nervous for him. I really am.
It gets more bizarre because the fact is that he feels less confident to get a 5.16 on the right, but he's probably more confident to now going to need a 9 on the left and more likely get it. Is just a bizarre turn of events because he for sure gets a 4 here, but does he get a 5? If he gets a 4, he's going to still be alive on this next left.
I know.
So he's going to still be in the match if he doesn't get it.
Yeah.
And my point is he gets it on the next left.
But what would be the reason why he wouldn't get that score on this
There's
wave?
not one turn in that wave where he risked the wave. And he knew it. You could see in the body language here at the end, he starts trying to get there.
It's like he's trying to manufacture it.
He's trying to manufacture it. And he might still get it. It was nice surfing, but it's not a for sure that he's going to get the score here. And even the fact that he went for that at the end sort of shows me that maybe he needed to throw a little bit of salt on the bread there to get that one over the line. And obviously he was incomplete. It's just, you know, but he's not out of it. And Jack knows that. Like for Yago now on this next left, it's like, I don't know. Yeah, like I said, looking at that wave, he's more chance there. It is a 4.53.
This isn't most people. It's Yago Dora. He's already had multiple 9s, 3 of the historic top 5 scores on the left. The Kelly Slater Wave Club Tech. Speaking of tech, we're going to need to see a bit of that here from Yago if he wants to go to semis. Tube section here for Yago. See how long he sticks with this, because really, I don't know whether you get 9s for getting covered in that section. It's more about what comes towards the end of the wave. Big punt from him. He'll just throw it up. He'll drift through the air. He'll go down. And he'll remain a quarter finalist here. that will set up the situation in our second semi. We'll see a small matter of Italo Ferreira taking on Jack Robertson. Guys, a lot happened there, and a few surprises in terms of maybe a few mistakes, some stuff we weren't expecting to see.
Definitely a few surprises. I just still, you know, it's interesting when he could have broken it down in a 5, and I mean, he's not silly. He's going to know this. You could see the frustration on his face. You could see the disappointment. Just an interesting end to that heat. Jack
Robbo's old school, man. He grinded that heat down. He put the pressure back on the younger surfer. Not by much, but he's younger. In as far as strategy is concerned, he went first. He put the pressure back on, and then there you go. It absolutely was a master play by Jack.
Robinson will advance to semi-finals.